boy, the things that I want to say in this video. What's up guys, Red Devil Ace, and I am super excited for this Ace's point of view because of the movie I will be talking about in this video. And that movie has been a movie I've been looking forward to for a long time, got me even more hyped than the Smashing Machine, is none other than Tron Ares. A film that I was, and along with a bunch of other people, were highly skeptical and downright scared for because of Disney's track record in the past when it came to its live action films, and the fact that they're bringing in a 10 wait, hold on. They're bringing in a franchise that hasn't been touched or worked on in over 10 years. When it came to its film and television standpoint, Disney really had to bet big in order for this movie to work. And I just got done watching the movie myself. It is about October 16th, and it's been only 2 hours since I came back home. And in this video, I'm going to cover what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and what this could mean for the Tron series moving forward. And if I were to give just a base reaction on if I liked it or not, the movie made me get these, and it takes a lot for a movie to get someone to buy something right after seeing it. And with someone like me that had my worries, my theories, my assumptions for the movie, I will say the movie was pretty downright enjoyable. Now, I'm not going to say that the movie is downright perfect. There are some tidbits that kind of flipped me the wrong way, and there were some things that I genuinely enjoyed about this film. So, Ace's point of view, Tron Ares, let's get into it. So, as if many people don't know what Tron is, basically it's a movie franchise about people going into a digital world filled with programs, awesome machines, and downright awesome music, if I really have to make that any more clear. And when it came to its last movie, Tron Legacy, it left a lot of open ideas on what they could do for a third film. Now, there have been talks for years about Tron 3, a sequel to Tron Legacy, but none of them really panned out. Right until a teaser trailer for Tron Ares appeared, and holy shit, I nearly jumped out of my chair when I finally realized, oh wow, we're finally getting another Tron movie. Oh wait, we're getting another Tron movie. Because if anyone's seen Tron Legacy, you're kind of skeptical on what they could do with the franchise moving forward after the events of the second film. And at first glance, they're like, is this a reboot of the franchise, or will this be a direct sequel to Tron Legacy? I had a lot of theories and ideas on what Tron Ares could represent for the Tron franchise as a whole, but thankfully the film gave me a lot of answers that I've been drastically looking for. So from first glance, is this a reboot of the franchise? No. And is this a sequel to Tron Legacy? Yes and no. Because although it did lack a lot of potential returning characters for Tron Ares, it did follow the story from where Tron Legacy left off. And not gonna lie, I didn't think that the movie would include all the references it did, but not to Tron Legacy. Because if I'm being frank, it really did pay homage to the first Tron film from the 1980s. And if anyone has seen Tron Legacy up until this point, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Just the beats, the references, the homage they pay to the events of the first film, and just the entire dynamic between ENCOM and the people involved with it and the people against it, it got me to smile wide so many times. But just like the callbacks and just the overall plot of what Tron Ares was specifically about, and all the links and everything that they showed, it was truly a spectacle to watch. But I will say the transition from Daft Punk over to Nine Inch Nails, Nine Inch Nails did a really good job with the soundtrack of this film, because if there's one thing, if there's two things that Tron is known for, it's for its spectacle and it's for its soundtrack. And Daft Punk really created big shoes for the next composer to fill, and thankfully Nine Inch Nails was there for the job, and they knocked that out of the park. Because there's been a few moments in the film that I was just completely captivated just from the sounds, the songs, the overall aesthetic that this movie has built up. I was truly happy, and I guess it's safe to say it didn't ruin the franchise at all. And although I can give this movie so many flowers for things that I really enjoyed, there was one thing that got stuck in the back of my head throughout the entire film, but trust me, this is in the very beginning, is they did have a few returning characters, more notably Jeff Bridges, but they did mention Sam Flynn. Now, Sam Flynn was the main protagonist in Tron Legacy, and at the end of Legacy, and honestly, this really isn't spoilers because the movie came out around 2011, so if you haven't seen Tron Legacy, just cancel this video and just do it now. They did reference that Sam was in charge of the company, but then left under mysterious circumstances, which I'm like, wait. Mysterious circumstances. He seemed really adamant that he was going to take back the company from the overlords, from the people that mostly cared about money, that didn't really have the passion that Sam or Kevin or Bradley have for ENCOM. And the fact that they just threw Sam Flynn right at the very beginning, and the fact that he left the company, I was like, it rubbed me the wrong way. I really can't help it. It left a lot of open ideas in my mind, and a few of those ideas were venomized just from my overall reaction to that little tidbit. But I guess it's like they're shedding old skin. They're shedding old skin, and they're transitioning to newer characters. And okay, I can kind of see behind that. And another thing that I really wanted to mention: did the Jared Leto curse affect this movie at all? And honestly, no, it really did not. I mean, I'm not saying that Jared Leto did an amazing performance, but it's just the character that they gave Jared Leto. And what I mean by that, it's because Ares as a whole is a security AI. And with Jared Leto's track record in the past, they gave Leto characters that needed more personality. Like when it comes to movies like The Outsider, Morbius, and more notoriously Suicide Squad, he was given characters that were supposed to have a lot of charisma, a lot of passion, a lot of character built into it. And Leto didn't really do that much of a good job, let's be honest, because he was pretty bland, he was pretty paper thin, but that's what made him work with Ares, because Ares is a character that wasn't supposed to have that much character built into it, because he was designed for one thing and one thing only, and that's just to do what he's told. And with Leto's robotic acting style, it actually works. Finally, a movie with Jared Leto as one of its main characters, it's not a piece of shit movie. And the whole thing about, I mentioned before, Jeff Bridges being in this film, they really paid homage to the Kevin Flynn of old, because believe it or not, Kevin still talks like a dude from the 80s. Like, they did not modernize him at all, and I am so goddamn happy that they didn't. But the whole thing of the grid coming into the real world, not gonna lie, I really didn't like it at first, because I mostly loved with what I mean by that, what I mostly came from the ideas that Legacy and Tron Uprising had, that just try to focus more on the grid itself and just day-to-day life at the grid, which was the main thing behind Tron Uprising. Because Tron 1 and Tron from the 1980s and Tron Legacy were all about users coming into the grid. And if people don't know what Tron Uprising is, it's an old school TV show about what programs do when users are not there. And I really don't want to say much because Tron Uprising is a legitimately good show, and it kind of sucks that it got canceled. But just the overall idea of, oh, like the grid has been corrupted and it's taken over, it was nothing like that. And just from the trailer itself, and I honestly thought that ENCOM was going bad and was going corrupt. Like, oh, maybe all the goodwill that Sam's done was for nothing. And ENCOM has evolved past making games, and they're becoming the digitized or the Disney version of the Mishima Zaibatsu or something like that. But it was not like that at all. ENCOM started as a video game company, and it's still a video, and it still is a video game company. And I'm really happy that they didn't change like ENCOM, like they didn't corrupt ENCOM or anything like that. But they did bring in antagonists, which that made a whole bunch of sense. And what I mean by that is Dillinger. Now, what I mean by that, from the first trailers, I honestly thought that Evan Peters' character was the new CEO of ENCOM, because how can a Dillinger take control of the grid or make a grid and is involved with programs like Ares? Because that was mostly an ENCOM thing, and all the grids that's been revealed in the past mostly came from ENCOM. But as Tron Ares showed me, that ENCOM isn't the only one with tricks up their sleeve. And this was mostly like an arms race more than anything, because as Dillingers are, they're greedy, they're corruptible, and they will stop at nothing to get what they want. Kind of like how Edward Dillinger screwed over Kevin Flynn in the first movie, all because of greed. And the new gen Dillinger, Julian Dillinger, he was a real piece of shit and really gave off vibes that good old Ed left behind from the first film. And I really enjoyed having another antagonist that was just the absolute worst. And I was just so happy the way that this movie has turned out, just from its visuals, the effects, just everything about it was amazing. And I will say the plot kind of came secondary because the plot was pretty straightforward. But I'm not really that mad at it. Like, it was a legitimately good film. And another thing, the ending of it was something that really got me skeptical that there could be a potential fourth Tron film, and I really, really, really hope that they do, because spoiler alert, at the end of the film, after Tron Ares becomes a real boy, he got Pinocchioized. He's been looking for someone that's exactly like him. And what I mean by that, he's been looking for a really specific person from Tron's past. Not Tron's character, I mean the past of Tron's franchise. And I was like, wait a minute. He's looking for someone like him, but who else could be, like, he's a program coming into the real world. There really can't be another person like him. But it got me thinking. It really got me thinking. Because in the beginning of the film, when I mean that there was an arms race, they're looking for a way for programs to be eternal, or to not. They were looking for a way for programs to stay in the real world without de-resing after a few minutes. And in the shape of this specific code that Dillinger and ENCOM were at an arms race to find, it looks something eerily similar to something in Tron Ares. And what I mean by that, it was in the shape of a double helix. And where in Tron's past have we seen something that looks like a double helix? Quora. And Tron Legacy really built up the lore behind the ISOs, which Korra is the last ISO that could be the key to unlocking life itself. That could change potentially everything of what Tron can do in the future. And when they said that Sam Flynn left the company due to mysterious circumstances, could have something to do that Sam was trying to hide Korra because of how greedy Dillinger is, and Ares is looking for Korra. And it's kind of nice to see it was really nice to see another Dillinger bite the dust and is just overall hated by everybody. But another part of the ending. Oh my god, I really hope there's a fourth film, because even in the beginning of the film, they used this word, master control, which is something that I have not heard in a while. And what happens to Dillinger at the end of the film? Oh my god, Disney, you have done something good with Tron Ares. And even though it's not perfect, it's good. And please, 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 please don't mess this up. I am begging you. Please don't mess it up. But yeah, if you haven't seen Tron Ares, please just stop whatever you're doing and just watch the film. It is an incredible, incredible film. But one question I will say, is Tron Ares better than Tron Legacy? Now, that's a question that I've had in my mind the entire time, and I will say wholeheartedly, no. I still consider Tron Legacy to be a better movie than Tron Ares because it had skeptical. It had spectacle and it had plot. It had two very strong points, and Tron Ares did have a lot of spectacle, but not that much plot. Now, what this could mean is that Tron Ares, or just Tron itself, is in a really good place, and I will be front row once they reveal something else for this franchise. Now, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening to me rant about Tron Ares. If you liked my thoughts, or if you have problems with my opinions, please put it down in the comments down below. And if you like this video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. Share with all your friends and family. Each one really counts. It always makes my day. If you want more content, I do stream more regularly on Twitch more than I make YouTube videos. And my Twitch page is at Red Devil Ace. Put the number 1 at the end. I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. And like always, to get the blood boiling and the heart pumping. My name is Red Devil Ace, and I'll see you all next time. Right, I completely forgot to ask this. Where the fuck is Tron?